18 months after the ouster of the long-term Awami League leader, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party has won a majority of more than 2/3 of seats in parliament in a landmark election. This is a huge change of fortunes for the BNP, as its leader Tariq Rahman spent 17 years in self-imposed exile in London. Nearly 60% of voters turned out for the vote, which has seen the BNP win 212 seats in parliament, while the Jamaat-e-Islami alliance won 77 seats, according to Election Commission figures. Voters also endorsed sweeping constitutional reform in a referendum held alongside the general election. Unlike most referendums, which typically conclude a long legislative process after broad parliamentary consensus, this vote sets a new one in motion. With the yes camp prevailing, the process now moves to implementation, translating the July Charter's provisions into constitutional amendments, legal changes, and institutional restructuring. The referendum gives political legitimacy to the reform package, but its durability will depend on how transparently the next steps are carried out. The BNP now faces the major challenge of uniting a country that includes Awami League supporters who feel disenfranchised and cast aside. The country also faces daunting economic challenges and will require deep restructuring. In the end, the BNP's electoral victory may turn out to be the easy part. An Al Jazeera investigation has revealed the US supplied thermal and thermobaric munitions to Israel that burn at 3,500 degrees Celsius, leaving no trace of nearly 3,000 Palestinians. Al Jazeera documented 2,842 Palestinians who were evaporated since the war began in October 2023, leaving behind no remains other than blood spray or small fragments of flesh. Experts and witnesses attributed this phenomenon to Israel's systematic use of internationally prohibited thermal and thermobaric weapons, often referred to as vacuum or aerosol bombs, capable of generating temperatures exceeding 3,500 degrees Celsius. The investigation was the result of grim forensic accounting by Gaza's civil defense, who entered strike sites and cross-referenced the known number of occupants with the bodies recovered. The investigation found specific chemical compositions in Israeli munitions that turn human bodies into ash in seconds. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. When a body is exposed to energy exceeding 3,000 degrees, combined with massive pressure and oxidation, the fluids boil instantly. The tissues vaporize and turn to ash, something that's chemically inevitable. The genocide in Gaza is not just an Israeli one. Legal experts say the use of these indiscriminate weapons implicate not just Israel, but also its Western suppliers. The continuous flow of weapons from the US and Europe makes them complicit, as they are part of Israel's supply chain. Switzerland will hold a referendum to decide on whether to cap its population at 10 million by 2050. The Swiss will vote on capping its population at 10 million by 2050. The proponents of the initiative, led by the right-wing Swiss People's Party, who holds the most seats in parliament, tallied enough petition signatures to put the issue to the countrywide vote on June 14th. The Federal Statistics Office said Switzerland has a population of 9.1 million people. People born abroad have made up about 30% of that in recent years. Most have come from EU countries and some have taken Swiss citizenship. The proposal would enshrine into law the rule that Switzerland's permanent resident population, including both Swiss citizens and foreigners with residency permits, must not exceed 10 million by 2050. If the population reaches 9.5 million before 2050, the government would take steps to limit it through measures on asylum and renegotiating international agreements. The idea, proponents say, would be to help protect the environment, natural resources, infrastructure, and the social safety net from strains caused by population growth. For years, the SVP has sought to curb migration into the rich alpine country, but with limited success. Previous proposals all failed at the ballot box. The Swiss referendum comes amid a broader surge in public debate over immigration across Europe, where the political class continue to blame pressure on housing, public services, and labour markets on immigrants. This has fueled support for far-right parties championing stricter migration controls across the continent.